All right. Obviously, I hope I look good. It's my um, not my first time, but it's my first time doing this style in a while. So, anyway, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. I'm so glad that you're here to listen to me yap yet again. And in today's video, I'm quite excited to talk about this topic because I feel like it's very important to me, so it should be important to everybody. But I want to be talking about all the movies that I've watched this year. And I don't know, like I feel like this year I really took a dive into movies. Like I watched so many, way more than I feel like last year, definitely. So I want to sit here and rank them and explain why I ranked them the way I did and just look back on the year and the movies that I've watched. Okay, so before I rank or I talk about the movies that I've watched this year and like discuss the rankings I gave them or the ratings I gave them, I want to talk or explain my rating system because sorry, I'm getting quite excited. So if I'm yelling in the mic, but I want to explain my rating system because when I watched a movie with my friends back on campus, like I was damn near crucified for my ratings, and it's like my way, my way. It's okay. It's not that deep, but like at the same time, my word is law. It's real. So if you don't agree with my ratings, I don't know what that say about you, but I'm just a real person and real recognize real. Anyway, let's just get into it. I wrote it down so like I don't, misspeak. So everything's clear and concise. So let's just get into it. I have it here in my little notebook, but you can't see it. Anyway, a 1-star movie. This means this movie is bad, 0 bars. Who even thought of this and why? Okay, that's 1 star. Now, for 2 stars, an okay film. Not good, but not terrible. Probably had parts I enjoyed, but not crazy. What is it? Impressive overall. So not crazy impressive overall. Whoa. For a 3-star movie, I have this was a good film, something I can say I enjoyed. It wasn't groundbreaking entirely, but it's something slash something of substance. Um, with a few tweaks, it could be great. All right, it could be great. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, 4-star film, great film. I have almost little to no notes. All elements of the film blend really well. Might have something holding it back from being amazing, but little to no notes. And when I say all elements of the film, I'm talking like the angle, the light, the use of lighting, stuff like that. Like the whole film is just like, whoa, like what am I watching? This is art. That is a 4-star film. And like 3-star films and 2-star films and so on can have that, but like sometimes it's just a doo-doo film. I'm sorry. Finally, a 5-star film, amazing. No notes, beautiful, made me catch a vibe, or what is it, altered my thinking in some way. Film and its elements probably moved me in some way, or I'm really just running on nostalgia. You can't blame me. Like, we all have movies that we just liked as a kid, so. Anyway, I hope that makes sense because I'm not explaining it again. That's just how it is. And also, some movies can have the same rating, and like you're gonna be like, why is this movie and this movie ranked the same? And it's like, not all genres are the same. Like, you get what I'm saying? So, like, a dumb little movie could have the same rating as a serious, like, somber movie. Either way, don't judge me. Only God can judge me. Let's just get into this right now. I'm gonna be on my phone the whole time, so that's why I'm not looking at the camera. Don't be mad at me. My Letterboxd account, I made this like this past year. So I feel like that's why I feel some type of way, because I also realized this year that I do enjoy logging things when I finish them. Hence, gonna plug my Goodreads in here too. Anyway, I really enjoyed logging and rating each film after watching them. It was like a reward to me, so it just encouraged me to watch more movies, and that I did. Anyway, my account, I feel like it's pretty nice. Not matchy, but like I think it's cool. Now, I will preface this and say some of these movies that are put or that are on my letterboxd are movies that I watched already at like a different time of the year probably, but like I just remember saying like, wait, I've watched this movie, and I just put it in on Letterboxd, and it like has it like docked in as the date I said I watched it, but I didn't watch that date. So some movies I'm just not gonna include, because I know what I did. Anyway, let me stop yapping. Let's just get into it. We're gonna start in January. So I started the year by watching Blink Twice. This movie, oh my gosh, no words. This movie was so good, but like, hear me out, I did rate it 3 stars. Like, it wasn't crazy good, but like I was like, wow. I can't say what I really want to say, but it's like, anyway, I left a comment saying, oh nah, men might actually need to start their lives in prison and make their case to get out, because it just watch the movie, and I feel like if you watch it, you'd understand what I'm saying, because this is insane. Zoe Kravitz, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, you did that. Like, I'm impressed. What's his name? Channing Tatum, I think that's his name. I'm sorry, I have to see. Yeah. I don't even know if I can do that, but still, that movie just changed my perspective. Crazy good movie. Honestly, the way I'm talking about it, it should be a 4, but like, it wasn't that good to be a 4. That's just how my brain works. Anyway, I watched another movie. I just rewatched Inside Out 2. I don't know. I feel like January, I wasn't really into this mindset of like, I'm gonna watch a ton of movies, so I wasn't watching a ton of movies. In February, I also only watched 2 movies. The first one, on February 5th, I watched Dogman. I went with some friends and one of my friend's little sister to go see it. So it's like, maybe I would have watched it on my own, of my own choice, but like, I feel like I probably wouldn't have. Like, that's beyond me. That's not in my time. I'm like Captain Underpants league. Like, this is for the youngins. Anyway, I did leave a comment. I rated it 2 stars, but I did say 2 gay dads fighting for custody of their son. But in the end, Dogman wasn't just a stepfather. He was a father that stepped up. And I feel like, yeah, if I'm the way I'm remembering that movie correctly, like, Dogman just loved Lil Petey. So yeah, he was that man. He was that man. And then second, I watched One of Them Days. I watched One of Them Days on, February 7th. And Kiki Palmer, like, sometimes she's like, that's my sister, that's my cousin. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, Kiki. But I'm like, oh my gosh, Kiki. Because this movie let me relax. This movie was so good. I did rate it 4 stars, and I liked it because I just had a ball watching this movie. Like, it was fun. Like, I don't know. SZA did irk me. Her character irked me the entire time. Because personally, if I were friends like with a girl like that, I don't know. I don't know if I could do it personally. But I did have a ball watching One of Them Days. Kiki's character, the whole scene with the whole like credit thing, it was really nice. It all stitched together perfectly, and I will say it's a feel good movie. It feels like Tyler Perry could have made this movie. I don't think he did, but like, it's better than a Tyler Perry movie. That's not shade, but anyway, 4 stars and a heart. I enjoyed this movie. I actually went dumb crazy in March and watched a total of whopping of one movie. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in March. Or what is it? I think that's when I got my cat. She's on the bed sleeping. I don't know if I want to wake her. Let's see. It's just my baby. Anyway, I watched one movie in March, and it was Mickey 17. Mickey 17 was amazing. Granted, I did only rate it 3.5 stars, but like, okay, it wasn't like, whoa, this is groundbreaking, this is a great movie. It was a good movie. I feel like the one thing that's like really pushing my love for the movie is the relationship between Mickey and I'm forgetting, but I know it's like Sasha or something. Nasha. Hold on. Love their love, like, oh my gosh. Plus, like, that whole thing with Mickey 18. Anyway, it was a good movie. It was a 3.5 though. It wasn't great. Like, I think the aliens were cool and all that, but I don't know, mama. It wasn't, whoa. Was it Bong Joon-ho? Was he the director of that movie? Yes. He had some hand in it. I don't know, but like he's known for being that guy. I don't know, like it wasn't, I don't know, for having his name in it, but like at the same time that's not his duty. It was a good movie though. Don't hate my rating. I'm just keeping it real. Okay, to start off April. What is it? This was like April 3rd. This is not a movie, but I was able to rate it on Letterboxd, so I'm gonna talk about it. And this was Adolescence. Lord, this show, oh my gosh. It's like if I ever have a son, this don't mean what it's like saying, but like I gotta whip him into shape, cause never this, never that, never. This show was crazy. But it did have a reflection on society, but I feel like it could have done more. It could have, I don't know what I'm expecting from it, low-key, but like I just feel like it could have done more. I'm hoping I'm like, I don't know. That's just how I feel about this show. And I rated it a 3, and I was like, I did make a comment, God send the flood, because our children, the children. Anyway, next I watched Flow. I watched this with my cat because a lot of people on TikTok were like, oh yeah, I watched this movie with my cat. So I'm like, we have to do that, right? And she did not watch it. I can barely remember this movie, honestly, because she was crawling all over me and I really couldn't get a vibe. But from what I do remember, it was very cute and it was like, oh my gosh, like, are they okay? But yeah, it was a 3. I liked it, but like I feel like I should take that like back since I can't really remember the plot. But anyway, moving on. Okay, on April 4th, I went and watched the Minecraft movie with all my friends. You've seen them on my channel before, but we all dressed up as Steve. Just got a weird email, ignore that. But anyway, we all dressed up as Steve, and it was so like, okay, first let me get into my rating of the movie, then we can talk about it. I rated it a 3.5 and I liked it. And then I also said, could it have been better? Yes, but it was super funny, so it's a win for me. My friends know the state I'm in when I watch movies, so that kind of also affects my rating, but if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. I'm sorry. Anyway, I enjoyed this movie. There were parts of this movie where I genuinely like let out a laugh, and I was like, wow, society. Anyway, was it the best movie in the world? No. Was it super hyped? Yes. Did I give into the hype? Yes. But I'm just young and I had fun, and I enjoy that in a movie. If it makes me have fun and it reminds me of fun, I'm not gonna hate. And I didn't, so I gave it a 3.5. Sue me. losing light. Anyway, we're gonna see how much more I can get through. We have 2 more movies for April. On April 6th, I watched Twisters. This movie, okay, it was a 2. I watched it because I saw Glenn Powell was in it. I had no idea Daniel Cornsweet was in it either. Low-key, I don't know if I'm saying these people's names right. Like, this is just off the dome. But I had no idea he was that guy, that mean old guy in the movie. But now I know. Anyway, I had fun. It was a dumb little movie, honestly. That's why I gave it a 2, because it's like, it's okay. Like, they're just chasing twisters. I don't know. Well, there's nothing more else I could say, but it was cool. It was fun. So you can never get a 10 from me. But anyway, the last movie I watched in April was also on April 6th. Whoa, double showing. I watched Top Gun. Now, I watched Top Gun because I was watching Family Guy. And I came across this episode. It was a Top Gun parody episode. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, no way this is actually the plot of Top Gun. So I went and watched Top Gun. And it was, but like, you know how Family Guy is. But at the same time, it's like, wow, they were not playing. I thought it was kind of, for something that like is heavily talked about amongst that crowd. If you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. This was kind of mid to me. The Filmbros love to talk about a nice Top Gun Tom Cruise, but like, I don't know. I feel like I'm a little film bro myself, and this was not impressive. Okay, I can understand why my friends were hating on my rating style, because it's like I did rate this a 3 on Letterboxd, but like I feel like I could bring that down to a 2, the way I'm like dogging on it right now. But I did rate it a 3, and I said, Charlie girl, how could you fold so easily? Because how could you fell for the bait. How could you fold so easily? I don't think I could have. Moving on. All right, we're gonna move right into May, and the first movie I watched was on May 4th, and if I remembering correctly, I watched this with friends because I think at the time I was on an internship, so I wasn't on campus, but I went back to visit, and we watched It's What's Inside. My friend recommended this movie, and oh my gosh, it was so good. 4 stars. It's like, it was trippy. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, hold up. It had me thinking. We did have to rewind the movie a couple times, and it's like, wait a minute. I'll give y'all that. It was cool. I also liked it. I didn't leave a comment, but it was fun. Also, on May 20, I binge watched movies, I'm guessing, because on May 24th, I watched Fear Street 1666, Fear Street 1978, and Fear Street 1994. Can you blame me though? Those movies are gold. That trilogy is so good. Like, it's a little, but I feel like it's so good. I enjoy it every single time. So I did have to rewatch, because I think it's because I heard Prom was coming out, but to this day I still haven't watched Prom, and I don't think I'm going to, so it is what it is. And finally, May 25th, I watched Lilo and Stitch. I unfortunately did rate this a 2.5. I thought it was gonna be a banger. It kind of was, but it really wasn't. And it's like, we just don't need any more live actions, I feel like. And that's okay. Hello, Happy New Year. Sorry if that was loud. Okay, anyway, welcome back. More so to myself than to you. It is now well into the new year. It is the 23rd. I'm going to finish up all the movies that I watched in 2025. I was really lazy, so it did take me a while to film the rest of this, but we ended off in May, and we're gonna finish out the year strong. In June, I watched a total of 3 movies. They were pretty spaced out, I would say. I didn't like binge anything, but the first movie I watched in June was on the 3rd, Bring Her Back. I watched this movie 2 times this year. I can't remember when in the year I watched it again. The first time I watched it in theaters with friends, no. This is a movie no. Like, it was entertaining, but I don't do horror. And it was demonic. I can withstand monsters, like, depending on the type of monster it is, but this was just demonic entities, spirits. No, like, that doesn't really scare me for real, but this just felt a little too real. Like, I was involved in something I shouldn't have been. So yeah, I rated this movie 2.5 stars. It was a lot. I won't say it was a bad movie, but it was a lot personally. But I did say, bro, maybe it's the American in me, but I'm worried about his dental costs after this. If you've watched the movie, you know exactly what I'm referring to. All right, next movie, I watched Straw. I watched Straw on June 14th at my friend's house.
I'm done. Cut the show.
Moment of silence, please. There's really people walking this earth living lives just like that. We don't know. Tyler Perry, you'll pay. That's my review. You'll pay. Literally, I rated it 2.5 stars, and all I could say was, bro, ... Finally, to wrap off the year, I actually posted a video about this. Did it get a ton of views? You should just go and check the video out to find out. But I watched How to Train Your Dragon on the 19th. Another live action. But okay, yeah, this was the month of 2.5s because this also got a 2.5. I don't think the movie was bad. Like I said about Lilo and Stitch, do we need any more live actions? That's up for debate. But it's just, when it comes to live actions, especially when it's something that is like so cemented in a lot of people's childhoods, aka How to Train Your Dragon, you're climbing a really steep hill, you know, and you could tumble at any time. It's a very vicious crowd out there, especially in 2025. I don't know. I didn't hate it, but it just wasn't for me. It was cool. I liked the vibes in which I watched it in. A drive-in movie theater, by the way. You would know if you watched the video. But yeah, I don't know. If you gave us another movie and it was like, I'd tune in. Now we move into July. I watched a total of 2 movies in July. Okay, so I started to slow down, obviously. But I watched Superman with a friend, Tolu. If you're watching this, shout out to you. We watched it on the 26th in Boston. I loved it. Personally, it invoked feelings within me that I expect out of a superhero movie because I love superhero movies. But this was it groundbreaking? Was it earth-shattering? No. Which is why it got the rating of 3.5 stars. I personally just love the emotions it filled within me. It made me feel like a superhero. That little Superman song, y'all know which one I'm talking about.
That's that real music, man. Come back home.
Peak. It literally makes you feel like you're about to rise from the ashes and save the day. That's what a movie score needs to do. It needs to put you in the movie, into the character's body. And that's exactly where I was. Beautiful. I'm talking like this and didn't rate it a 5. Wow. On June 31st, I watched K-pop Demon Hunters. You already know. That movie was golden. Yeah, you see what I did there. I liked it. Like, I know a lot of people didn't like it. And when I say a lot of people, I mean adults. And to that I say, like, it's just, real people get it. People with whimsy and love and just golden spirits will get that movie. Personally, I'm not a fan of the Saja Boys. I was not a fan of the Saja Boys while watching it, but Ginu, like, I see you. Anyway, yeah, I rated the movie a 3.5, and I liked it. And I said, if my son ever did me like that, I'd pray he'd get haunted by it for the rest of his life. Or wait, I'd pray he'd get haunted by it for life too. # never cared. And I still don't. Because what are we talking about? And that was my movie wrap up for the month of June. Now let's move on to the next month. Into the month of August. Oops, I closed it. But August, I actually started to pick up movies again. I think this is because like I realized I was going back to school and I had to get all my joy and whimsy out before Amherst, aka the zoo, took it out of me. But for the first day of August, I and a couple other friends, in a certain situation that I cannot explain nor mention, went to go see Fantastic Four First Steps. All I can say, peak. That movie was peak. I loved the environment, the characters, the design. I loved it all. Like, when they could have just given us modern day 2026, nah, they gave us the future. And I love the Fantastic Four movies. Chris Evans, my goat. You are my Johnny Storm forever. I am a fake fan because I do not know the name of the guy who played Reed. But whatever. But yeah, I thought he was cute too. Anyway, I thought it was cool. Definitely better than the Michael B. Jordan version of that. It was certainly fantastic. That's all I can say. But First Steps was nice. I liked it. I enjoy a good superhero movie. I gave the movie 4 stars and I liked it. And I said, gotta say, that was fantastic. 5 bars. The next movie I watched in August was on the 12th. Can you guess what it is? I'm gonna give you a hint. It was actually the worst movie of 2025. Did you guess? Did you get it right? You probably didn't. You probably did. Anyway, it was War of the Worlds. Personally, I wanted to see if people were lying when they said it was bad, and it was that bad. But it was funny. It was a movie that if you saw how bad it was, you would enjoy it because of how bad it was. How many times did I just say bad? Anyway, definitely every time I think about this movie, all I can say is they tried to reheat Missing's nachos. Yeah, because I don't think we needed to be on Zoom or on Google Meets or on FaceTime the entire movie, but that was a choice that was made. We can't go back, but it was funny. We got a couple memes out of it. Who can complain about that? And yeah, 1 star. I don't know. Like I got a couple chuckles out of me, so I gave it that 1 star. I don't know if you can rate 0 stars on Letterboxd. You can. But 1 star. Next, I was in Canada when I watched this, but I watched Weapons. I definitely do have to rewatch it though, because I feel like we did miss like maybe 5-10 minutes of the beginning, and I just feel like I didn't really pay attention to it for real. I didn't get out of it what I wanted to like everybody else did, so I'm gonna rewatch that this year. I gave it 3 stars because I did enjoy what I did get to see, but I feel like a rewatch would do me justice, and the movie as well. Finally, I watched this on campus, so this is at this point I had returned from Canada. I was back at school. I watched Jurassic World Rebirth with my roommate Tolu. 2.5 stars. Like, personally, it wasn't a bad movie. Jonathan Bailey, ICU, You're My Kitty Meow Meow, but Scarlett Johansson, I'm not really a big fan of. She was the main focus of the movie, so do with that what you will. I don't hate her, but I'm not a fan of her. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, 2.5 stars. If I rewatched it, I'd probably give it like 2 stars, 1 star. Dinosaurs are cool though, so yeah. And that was all that I watched in August. I kind of enjoyed August. Was it the best? No, but it was fun, and that's all that matters. All right, we are finally approaching the end of the year, and we're going to enter into September. So in September, I watched a total of 3 movies. We're going to start off sad with September. On the 13th, me and 2 other friends went to go see The Long Walk. Just bleak. Sad. Depressing. Like, you want to have hope, but you know, like, there's nothing waiting at the end of this rainbow, if there even is a rainbow. It's just depressing, man. Oh my gosh, like, I don't even want to think about it. Art, rest in peace. Like, that's all I want to say. That's all I want to say. I rated the movie 4 stars and I liked it, and I said, dang, this is kind of sad. Maybe we should all sing the road song. I was trying to brighten the mood. But second, in September, we watched Him on the 19th. Okay, I know the discussions amongst that happened around this film. Personally, I enjoyed it. What did I rate it? 2.5 stars. An okay film. I don't think the film was meant to have like a crazy story plot / theme, you know what I'm saying? But I do think it was trying to allude to something, and like watch it. I would say if you haven't watched it, watch it. But like, oopsie, I'm popular. But I feel like it definitely did touch upon how we idolize, or how certain people idolize sports and the players. Like, I promise you, on my soul, there's a man out there that would kiss Tom Brady's feet, no charge. He would do it because that's what he desires. And I feel like that's what this movie was trying to say. Finally, on the 27th, I rewatched The Craft with my roommate. I love that movie. I love that movie. Oh, he's sorry. Yes, I love that movie. It's so cool. I wish it had ended differently for all those girls, but it didn't. And yeah, I can't remember. I think I watched it for the first time in like my sophomore year, my junior year, but definitely a solid rewatch. And yeah, what did I rate it? Yeah, 4 stars, and I liked it. And that is the wrap up of the month of September. I would say definitely another solid list of movies. I enjoyed them. Like, as sad as the first one was, and as the second one was, I enjoyed the month of September. To the month of October, I watched a total of 4 movies this month. Let's just get into it before I say anything about the movies I watched. So, on the 15th, I watched 28 Years Later. Have I watched the other movies? No, but I've seen clips of them on TikTok in those like chronological parts, whatever you want to say. But I've watched a couple of them on TikTok, and I was kind of disappointed because when they were advertising this film, a lot of Aaron Taylor Johnson, like, you would think this was his movie. All right, I'm sad because look at that man. Look at him. Okay, you got me. You got a lot of ladies and gays, and who else finds that man fine? We watched the movie. Also, if you heard about this movie, you heard about a specific scene in this movie. I feel like that is what brought the crowd. It brought me and Aaron Taylor Johnson, of course. But that specific scene everybody's talking about brought me. I was not impressed. I mean, I can't even remember it. That's how unimpressed I was. I gave the movie 2 stars just because y'all were trying to sell an Aaron Taylor Johnson movie, and it wasn't that. He was in the movie for like 12 minutes. I'm throwing that number out there. I don't know if it's true though. I love a nice movie where a kid goes on a journey with their mom, because it's always the dad. Joel Miller, Lee. Shoot, give us a mom moment. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, 2 stars. And I said, took me on a journey to nowhere, but I also didn't hate it. That's literally how I felt about the movie. It was okay. Second, on the 20th, I watched, I'm probably not going to say this right, The Phoenician Scheme. I really like this man. I just recently discovered him. I really like this man. Benicio del Toro. Oh, he's just, yeah. Anyway, I rated the movie 2.5 stars. I didn't add a comment though, but my comment should be, Benicio del Toro, where are you at? Come find me. I rewatched Sinners this month. I'm not ashamed to say it, and I rated it 4 stars. I like Sinners. I'm not gonna say I love it, because when I love a movie, it's deep. But I really, really, really like this movie. Michael B. Jordan was yummy as Smoke and Stack, so points there automatically. And the score, wow. I give my flowers to everyone involved in that film beautiful. It deserves every single nomination it gets and more. All right, let's move on. Finally, on the 30th, I watched Pitch Black. Personally, I can't say why I'm tied to this movie, but I have a past with this movie, and I finally watched it after years of knowing about it. I had a little thing for Vin Diesel when I was younger. Arrest me, I'm sorry, but Pitch Black, no words, honestly. I rated it 2.5, and I said Fry is so lucky they let her get away with that, because she would have had to run that fade with me. I don't want to spoil any movies on here, so watch it if you want to know what I'm talking about. But we Fry, we have long time beef. Me with her personally. Another solid movie month. I feel like Sinners and what is it? Yeah, I feel like Sinners just made that list good. All right, we're in November, 1 month away. Okay, let's start. Ooh, I watched a total of 7 movies. So let's start with the 8th. On the 8th, I watched 2 movies. The first one being Good Fortune with my man, Keanu Reeves. Was this movie groundbreaking? No. But it was fun. The colors were amazing. Did it shed light on some issues in society today? Yes. But were they groundbreaking revelations? No. It's not a 4 or 5 movie, but it was a feel-good movie. To me. Now, I said, Angel cosplays as human for a week, gets addicted to nicotine. Society. I feel like that is a reflection of society today. Now, after Good Fortune, my friends and I were like on a little movie night, and we watched Frankenstein. Frankenstein was beautiful. I'm just gonna say that flat out. I think Jacob Elordi did a good job. It made me want to read the book, honestly. I heard a lot of people say it was not like the book though, so it made me want to read the book more. When that will happen, we don't know, but it's a desire now. I don't know. I thought it was really cool. Nice. The aesthetics, the vibe, beautiful. I gave it 3.5, and I said kindness begets humanity. I thought it was really sweet. It was a really sweet movie. Let's lock in. On the 15th, I watched One Battle After Another. The movie that's been hyped for how long? And I'm gonna just be straight up, I enjoyed it. Would I say the hype that it received fit it? No. That's just a personal thing though. But it was fun. It was enjoyable. Tiana Taylor ate it up. Chase Infinity, I think her name is. Personally, I'm not a fan of Leonardo DiCaprio, but he could get his flowers too. I'll give him 1 daisy. I gave it 3.5 stars and I liked it. And I said, now I'm down for the revolution, but did he have to dig in her butt like that? Question mark. Because that, I feel like, is a valid question. If you know what I'm talking about, yo, he was in there. All right. Personally, I've been excited to rate this movie. Like, it needs its own separate clip so I can really get into it. So I'm gonna do that. But the next movie that I'm about to hype, I feel like y'all know. So we're talking about Wicked for Good. Like, the movie I've been waiting for ages. Oh my gosh, the hype that was built around this movie, the promotion, the products, everything. Like, you knew the world, or part of the world, was holding their breath for this movie, me being one of them. And I was sat. The margaritas I was sat for. Wicked for Good. Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande come to the front, and Mr. Chu, and Madame Morrible. Why am I forgetting her name? Michelle Yeoh. I loved it. Was it the greatest thing on the planet? No. I think that the hype from the first movie was just so grand and beautiful, and like, people were so excited to see the first part, that I just feel like you cannot mimic what we got from that first movie. That being said though, I feel like if you knew what you were waiting for and you were seeing what everybody else was seeing with Glinda and Elphaba, there was only so much you could ask for when it came to that movie. Now, I left the first movie not a huge fan of Glinda. I left the second movie even more of an anti-Glinda. I don't even know what you would call me. Elphaba deserved so much more and then some. Like, there are people who are trying to crucify her for what happened in that movie. I'm sorry, but don't get mad at her for having a good cookie. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, I feel like we all want to pretend like we didn't watch the first movie, but I feel like if we act accordingly, that scene wouldn't have been a surprise. Sue me. The ending song, For Good, literally changed my life. That movie really impacted me in ways like I view friendship and girlhood in different ways now. That being said, the movie did get a 3.5. I don't know if I said that earlier. I was talking a lot. But the movie did get a 3.5. And I liked it. Again, this is taking so long, but I did say if I were Elphaba, I would have left Oz with my man and a brand new line fur coat. FOMF. And that's the review. Okay, back to our scheduled programming. Now on to the rest of the movies I watched. On the 27th, I watched Begonia. This was a movie I've been waiting for a while. I remember when I first saw the trailer, I was like, oh, that looks really interesting. And interesting it was. I rated it a 3.5. I thought the plot was... I don't even know. I don't know. The things that were going on in that movie were... Whoa, the ending was like... I mean, I didn't expect it, but looking back, okay... Like, if you want to bite, if you want to nibble and you want to give it to him like that, sure, I could see it. But wow. I don't know, I just wasn't expecting that, like, twist, if you want to call it that. I'd say, damn, just like that, not going to give anyone the opportunity to make their case because that ending was crazy, like I said. Like, bro, are we for real? We're going to talk about the second to last movie we watched. I watched this on the 28th. It was The Call with Idris Elba and Halle Berry. Oh my gosh. No, wait. I'm mixing up my movies. You'll see the movie I was talking about earlier. But this is The Call with Halle Berry and Abigail Breslin. She was also in Scream Queens as Chanel No. 5. Real ones know. Anyway, this movie was tense. A lot went down in this movie. Halle Berry had me on the edge of my seat, and so did Abigail. That being said, I did rate this movie 3.5 stars. Finally, in the month of November, I ended it by watching Zootopia 2. Long-awaited movie. There was no pregnancy, so we can just forget about that. I'm sure all of you know that, though. The twist at the end? Okay, Pixar or Disney, whoever's in charge, you still got it. But can you keep delivering it? I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was fun. Zootopia is cool. And I rated it 3 stars. No comment, though. That's not a bad thing, though. Not always. Sometimes I just don't have a, funny quip for a movie when I watch it. So I leave it blank. And, yeah, that was the month of November. Personally, I enjoyed it. I think this is, around the time I started realizing I wanted to watch more movies before the year ended. So I was, adding to the list. And yeah, one more month, guys. Let's finish strong. We're at the final month. Bear with me. This is going to be a bit long because it was final season around this time. And when I don't want to study, I procrastinate. And how do I do that? Doom scrolling and watching TV shows and movies. So that's exactly what I did. But I passed all my finals, so I don't want to hear nothing. Anyway, let's just get right into it. Oh my gosh, I almost just deactivated my entire account. All right, in December, I watched a total of 11 movies. I watched 11. I was on go time. Anyway, let's start from the beginning. I started watching movies on the 2nd of December, and this was No Good Deed. All right, this is where I made my fumble in the previous one, but this was the one with Idris Elba and Taraji P. Henson. Yes. Yo, this movie was intense. Like, oh my gosh. A lot of people were like, I've never seen Idris Elba look so scary in a movie. He was scary. He was spooky. I was scared for Taraji, man. I was scared for her. Like, Lord, don't ever put me in no situation like that. Please, God. But I rated the movie 2.5 stars, and I said, I don't know, I feel like old dude could have helped her get her lick back on Jeffrey, but I get it. I don't though, at least in regards to the man, Idris Elba's character, because that's just the evil man. But for Taraji's character, yeah, get that lick back and then get him. This next movie, I can't remember when in the year I watched it, but I logged it in December. I don't think I watched it in December, but I'm still gonna talk about it. And this was Kamikaze Girls. My roommate put me onto this movie. Golden. Like, I actually really liked this movie. It was so funny. I would say, like, I definitely want to rewatch it to, like, get an idea of the plot. But even when I thought I wasn't going to watch it, I found myself, like, tuning in and trying to see what was going on. So, for that, it got 3.5 stars and I liked it. On to the interesting part of December. This is when I decided I was going to binge every single Transformers movie except for, I think I said the first 2 or 3, because I've watched those movies like a million times. Like, I've seen the first one 1,000 times, so I don't need to see it again. I know the plot. Sam meets Bumblebee, they want the glasses, top of the pillar, they kill Megatron, boom. Old ass movie. So I started with the Transformers Dark of the Moon. I believe this is the second or third movie. I can't remember, but I know it's not the first. So, yeah. This movie's peak. I love Transformers. I love a good action movie, so don't get mad at me. But I rated this 4 stars, and I liked it. Wow. And I, literally, my review, peak, period. Then, rest in power, Ironhide, because that was so unnecessary. On the 12th, I believe I watched 2 movies. The first one was Transformers Age of Extinction. This movie was a doozy. It was a lot. I think I had too much screen time prior to watching this movie. So, like, halfway through, mind you, this movie's 2 hours long, I'm pretty sure. Halfway through, I was getting a fat headache. So it kind of made the movie less enjoyable. Like, this is the first movie without Sam. We're introduced to Cade and his daughter and her boyfriend. I don't care. Like, bring back Sam. I also watched Wake Up Dead Man. Peak. Priest Judd or Pastor Judd, whatever the title is, save me. That was my roomie's review. I just thought that was funny. But, like, oh my gosh, that movie was so good. I feel like, especially if you're religious and you're dealing with the mantle that religion has taken on today, and I don't know, I feel like definitely if you're separate from that crowd of religious people, then you know what I'm trying to, like, say. It felt like a breath of fresh air was finally released upon the church and its people, for those who actually wanted to receive the message. Though I loved Judd's character. I loved the shots that they used, the use of lighting, peak. I didn't rate it 4 stars though. I liked it. I loved it. I love the Knives Out series, Glass Onion, the first Knives Out, and now Wake Up Dead Man. Like, give me 14 of them right now. I will watch every single one. Alright, now that we've kind of, jumped from Wake Up Dead Man, we're going to jump right back into Transformers. So on, what day was this? The 13th, literally the next day, because mind you, I'm procrastinating for finals. So after every study session, I am rewarding myself with a movie. So on the 13th, I watched Transformers The Last Night. Not impressed. It was a lot. I felt like they were trying to do a lot that didn't need to be done. Like, people were running out of ideas in the studio room, the writer's room, wherever it is. Why are we talking about Merlin? I know we're dealing with cars that can transform into like 9-foot, 10-foot, 12-foot machinoid, humanoid thingies. But why are we talking about Merlin's Circle? Why are we finding out that Bumblebee has lived 1,000 lives before this? Stop. I rated the movie 2 stars. Like, it wasn't piss poor, but it was, I didn't ask for all of that. Like, sheesh. And I said, now, why didn't we get to see the submarine transform? Because I feel like that could have bumped y'all up to 2.5. To see that submarine into, a Decepticon or an Autobot? Missed opportunity. The next movie that I watched, another Transformers movie, of course. And this was on the 16th. This was the day after my Orgo final. That final was a lot, but I passed. Anyway, we watched Rise of the Beasts, and I rated it 3 stars. I didn't add a comment. Honestly, after I feel Dark of the Moon, we started losing the plot to Transformers. So I feel like I really didn't have a lot to say towards these things. I can't even remember the plot of Rise of the Beasts. Next movie we're going to talk about, because we finished Transformers at this point. We finished the series. I watched Tyler Perry's A Medea Homecoming. 1.5 stars. It really should just be 1 star. I've been trying to watch this movie for a long time, so I finally said, let's just cross it off. Not impressive. There are definitely better Tyler Perry Medea movies out there. Don't waste your time with Homecoming. This is coming from a black person, so I know Medea. Next, another highly anticipated movie that I've been waiting for years. Avatar: Fire and Ash. I watched this opening day with my gals, PVO. I will say it wasn't a strong movie. The movie was just about Spider, though. I'm not a Spider fan. I'm not calling for a mob against him, but I'm not his biggest shooter. So yeah. Quaritch and Barang, though. Yeah, give that to me. I gave the movie a 3.5. I feel like I've been on this Avatar journey for so long. It'd be crazy of me to just jump ship now, especially when we've been introduced to so many clans. I just don't like that it was Spider Central, like Spider City up in there. Spider fans really won with that movie. Personally, as an Atam fan, I wanted to see more progression with Lowak and Jake and how that affected everyone's relationship. But we can't all win. It was a cool movie though. On the 25th, I watched No Other Choice. The movie was okay. Honestly, I feel like it could use a rewatch because I don't think I really, got everything I needed to get from it. But Korean Hannibal. So I was sad. It got 2 stars for me though. And finally, the moment we've all been waiting for, the last movie I watched in 2025 was another highly anticipated movie for me, at least. It was Eternity. It was so good. Like, I thought it was really cute. I gave it a 3.5 stars, and I said Bofum because, yeah, Bofum. I don't know how she chose. That was just such a cool concept. I loved it. And actually, give me 15 of those right now. I want more movies like that. I thought it was, yeah. I don't know, but that was my movie wrapped for the year 2026. I feel like I was adding bangers to my list, and I want to do that for the rest of this year as well. So yeah, to many more movies and shows that we will be tuned into.